Hello, students. Welcome back to your history class. I am Mrs. Jenny Shah, and we are doing Chapter 7 Changing Cultural Traditions. Last class, we did Chapter 2, we did question number 2 and question number 3 first part. Today, we'll do the other two parts of question number 3. Describe the Renaissance movement in the field of art. Okay, so now when we talk about art, you will talk about the art of painting, art of sculpture, uh, and you will also talk about you know Renaissance in architecture and in music. Okay, Renaissance in art in the Middle Ages was dominated by the church. It attracted great importance to moral virtues and mysteries of faith. It was used to decorate cathedrals. Its subjects were Christ, Mary, and the saints. It was not realistic and natural, but the Renaissance art was dominated by the spirit of naturalism and humanism. Great stress was laid on beauty, grace, elegance, harmony of shades, and balanced forms. It was real and lifelike. The artists were interested in men and their activities in the world. So, this is a brief overview of Renaissance art. Now we talk about the art of painting. Though the themes were still religious, yet the figures were true to life, and the painters attached great importance to the beauty of the human body. Paintings known as frescoes were painted on plaster walls. Oil painting was also invented. The Italian painters Cimalo and Giotto paved the way for new school. They combined homely incidents with religious themes. Their paintings reflected a sense of humor and love for realism. Though the subject matter was Christian, yet the spirit of humanism prevailed in them. Leonardo da Vinci was a versatile genius of Florence. He was a painter, sculptor, architect, engineer, and a scientist. His Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, The Virgin, and The Child are the masterpieces of art. They reveal his mastery of color, shade, light, and background. They are matchless in revealing inner beauty and grace. Michelangelo was another genius of many talents. He was a painter, sculptor, architect, and a poet. He was famous for his remarkable frescoes on the ceiling of Sistine Chapel. According to Dr. J. E. Swen, grandeur of design, tragic driving force, and deep religious emotion make him unique as an artist. His Last Judgment is his masterpiece of art. Raphael was also a renowned painter, poet, sculptor, and architect. Sistine Madonna was his masterpiece in painting. In the words of J. E. Swen, its beauty of composition and its lifelike charm have made it one of the most outstanding paintings in the world. Celan of Venice excelled in oil painting and had great mastery over light, shade, and color. Besides these Italian painters, Aloysius Dürer and Holbein of Germany, Velázquez Murillo and El Greco of Spain, Rubens and Van of Holland were also magnificent painters of the Renaissance era. Next, we talk about the art of sculptures. The sculptors of Middle Ages carved faces, hands, and draperies, but the form of human body could not be detected under the draperies. The Renaissance sculptors studied the human body and knew how the muscles and joints worked so that they could make their figures more lifelike. A famous sculptor named Lorenzo Ghiberti made the doors of Baptistery Florence. Michelangelo was of the view that they were fit to be the doors of paradise. The statue of Saint George in Florence, the statues of Saint Mark in Venice, and group of young angels reveal the artistic skill of sculptor Donatello. These masterpieces are natural and lifelike. Huge statues of David in Florence, statues of Moses, and Pieta chiseled out by Michelangelo are nearly praiseworthy. The Italian sculptors were invited to England, France, and Spain, and they spread the Renaissance over the whole of Western Europe. Talking about Renaissance in architecture, the architects of Italy discarded the Gothic style and took inspiration from the classical architecture of the Greeks and the Romans. Alberti, Manetti, Brunelleschi, and Michelangelo were the famous Renaissance architects. Great churches like St. Peter's at Rome, St. Paul's at London, St. Mark's at Venice are examples of the new type. The dome was used, but it was made taller, more graceful than the Roman dome. Great porches and pillars were also used. Angelo designed the dome of the Church of St. Peter. The Pitti Palace in Florence, the Farnese Palace in Rome are the best examples of the Renaissance secular architecture. Talking about Renaissance in music. Music flourished along with other arts, but it was made free from the classical influence. Old and crude instruments were discarded, and violin and piano became popular. Though music was still dominated by religion, yet great stress was laid on harmony and sweetness. Palestrina was the leading musician of the Roman school, and his Book of Masses was finally composed in 1554 AD. It has been used ever since. Giovanni Gabrieli and Adrien Villard were the famous musicians of the School of Venice. About the Renaissance art, John Conrad writes, the arts of Renaissance have never been surpassed. They showed life in all its aspects, joy and sorrow, saintliness and worldliness, wealth and poverty were depicted. Many different materials were used, example paint, bronze, stone, proclaim, and wood. Whatever their material or tools, the artists of Renaissance beautified their world and also beautified our world. Next question is describe the Renaissance movement in the field of science. Renaissance in science, feudalism, domination of the church, and blind faith of the people in the supernaturalism, mysteries, and superstitions stood in the way of the process in science. Roger Bacon was the first person to lay stress on original thinking and scientific investigation. This led to the development of scientific spirit and new inventions, which brought about a revolution in political, economical, social, and cultural life. Astronomy. According to Ptolemy's system, the sun, the moon, and the other stars move around the earth. But a scientist of Poland named Copernicus proved that the earth, the moon, and other stars move around the sun in a circle. Later on, German scientists proved that the Earth and other planets move around the Sun not in a circle but elliptical orbits. The Indian scientist Galileo invented a telescope, and Sir Isaac Newton discovered the law of gravitation. Talking about physics, Gilbert carried on experiments concerning the properties of its magnet and paved the way for the study of electricity. Stevin discovered the law of parallelogram of forces. Galileo was not only an astronomer but also a great physicist. Aristotle believed that heavier bodies fall at a rapid speed than those of the lighter body. Galileo challenged this theory and successfully proved that the speed of falling bodies depended upon the distance and not on the weight. He also invented thermometer and hydrostatic balance and laid the foundation of modern dynamics. Chemistry and medicine. Vesalius and Harvey, they laid the foundation of modern anatomy. Vesalius gave a correct picture of human body while Harvey proved that the functioning of human body depends on the circulation of blood. Paracelsus proved close connection between medicine and chemistry and used chemicals for medicinal purposes. Codus prepared ether from alcohol and sulfuric acid. Helmont discovered carbon dioxide. Mathematics. The Arabs gave algebra and numerals to the West. Western scientists discovered different kinds of equations. Modern geometry was made systematic by Descartes. Descartes devised analytical geometry. Stevin advocated a decimal system of coins, weights, and measures. Other invention and discoveries: telescope, then mathematics. The Arabs gave algebra and numerals to the West. Western scientists discovered different kinds of equations. Modern geometry was made systematic by Desargues. Descartes devised analytical geometry, and Stevin advocated a decimal system of coins, weights, and measures. Other inventions and discoveries: telescope, microscope, printing press, gunpowder, handguns, and mariner's compass were the most important inventions of the Renaissance. The scientific progress made in the Renaissance era laid the foundation of modern science. So we've done 2 questions again today. Next class, we will do the cause and the effect of the Renaissance movement. Till then, stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Thank you.